Good morning, YouTube and Facebook. Welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to go after Penelope Cruz's paint. She's been cleaned up. I went and took her out on a ride, and wouldn't you know it, I got bugs all over the front. So I'm going to take some fantastic scrubbing bubbles and go after the front and get all the bugs off of it before I go after it and start cutting and buffing the paint. So come along with us today as we get a few things done here on the farm. Boy, that'll wake you up. I bought a mother's kit the other day off of Amazon, and it's a 3-step kit. And this is step number 1. This is the more aggressive buffing compound, and we're going to try to get rid of some of the swirl marks and stuff that are on her paint, because she was covered with a tarp and evidently the wind blew around, and there's not scratches, but there sure are a lot of swirl marks and stuff in the paint, and I'm hoping to get rid of most of that with this. And of course, they're sealed for my protection. We're going to go at this relatively gently. And see how it goes. Kind of swab it around a little bit first. Get some of that stuff spread out. Maybe put a little more on. And go slow. got rid of most of the swirl marks, but it didn't get rid of all of them. I'm going to go after this other spot and see if I can get a little bit more off. Oh, that's a scratch down into the clear coat. Now we're going to go and put a clean buffing pad on here and start with step 2. Now you got to let it dry to a haze. So I'm going to give it a few minutes. Well, now that we let it dry for a bit and it's all nice and hazy, I got a clean microfiber towel and we're going to go and see if we can rub off the rubbing compound. And it's coming off pretty easily. And I can safely say that has definitely made a difference. It's a heck of a lot shinier than it was a little while ago. Well, that has definitely made a big difference. Not dull like it was. It's a lot shinier. And most of the swirl marks are gone. Not all of them, because some of them were kind of deep. I'll probably have to work on that a little more. But that has made a big difference. Now, one of the big reasons why I'm doing this, I'm cutting it and I'm buffing it, but I'm not adding wax to it at this point because I'm going to go and add some racing stripes. And I don't want the wax being underneath it. I want that racing stripe to grab a hold of the paint with all of its might. So the next step is to do the back end of the car. Because these upper parts where the tarp was flopping around on it, that's where it's really got the problem, and that's what I'm trying to fix. Well, now that I've gone and cut it with the cutting compound, with the stuff that's designed to remove all the grit and grime in your paint, I'm going to go and buff it a little bit and see what kind of difference that makes. Now let's go take a look at it. Oh yeah, swirl marks are gone. Yeah, that made a big difference. Well, there we go. The front end of Penelope Cruz has now been cut and buffed. And it's substantially shinier and smoother than it was. It doesn't have the oxidation grunge left behind. It was just looking dull. Yeah, it had some shine to it, but it was dull. Now, she's definitely got some shine to her. And it looks a lot better. The swirl marks that were there from the tarp flapping around on it are pretty much gone. There's a couple of defects in the paint that I don't think there's much anything we're going to be able to do about, because it's too far into the clear coat. And I don't want to go too far, because when you buff like this, you're actually taking off part of the clear coat. You keep taking it off, keep taking it off, keep taking it off, and you're going to get down to the paint. And you don't want to do that, because then it won't be shiny anymore. But we got a good start. Now I got to go do the back end. Well, now that I've done the front hood, now that I've done the trunk lid and the back fenders, now the doors look like they need some attention, because they aren't nearly as shiny as the rest of it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it and end this video here. You don't need to watch me do the doors, but yeah, the cut and buff from Mother's made a real difference. And yeah, I'm happy with the results. Thanks for coming along with us and getting a few things done here on the farm. Come back and see us.